we can't stop.
Okay, I'm being honest.
I've only gone out to party like once this entire school year. I didn't think I'd make another video like this, but I'm making another video like this. We're going to answer commonly asked questions about Syracuse University. I am Andrew, and I'm here with...
Soley.
And Carlos.
So I think we should all kind of like introduce ourselves more formally. So from more perspective, like background, like
Short
years
blurb about you
and whatnot. So I'm a VPA film major. I'm a junior, but I did take 2 gap years. So I did experience the pre-COVID college for 2 years, and then I missed out of the whole the thick of the pandemic. So I'm back.
I'm Soley. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm a sophomore majoring in art video. I'm also a student athlete here, and anything else? Yeah, that's me. Etc.
I'm Carlos. I'm a junior at Newhouse studying advertising, although I came in as computer science and I transferred into Newhouse a year and a half into that, so that's me.
A lot of people wrote questions on my previous Syracuse videos, and I did answer a ton of them, but I feel like it'd be better to have a lot of these answers together, I guess, and to have more different like perspectives on the questions. So the first question is, why SU? Why did you pick Syracuse University?
So I picked Syracuse. First, I was not enrolled here. Fun fact. I was enrolled somewhere else. And then I just looked into the brochure, and I thought it was very pretty, like the campus. I saw the castle, and I was like, ooh, a castle. So that's what made me look at Syracuse. Okay, I'm being honest. Yeah, and then
be honest.
I spoke with the cheer coach, and I loved the whole dynamic and program. And then after that, I was hooked. So I checked in their majors, and I loved what they were offering academically. And then I was like, well, let's enroll here now. So that's what I did. That's why I chose Syracuse.
I'm from California, and I never really had like a dream school or anything, but I knew that wherever I ended up, that I'd want it to be far away from California, just because I kind of got over it. So I knew I wanted to go to school on the East Coast. I found out about Syracuse through a college presentation in my hometown. So looked into it, applied, just like whatever. Ended up getting accepted, and so they flew me out here for the Own the Dome event. And so it's once I was actually able to visit the campus, I was actually really intrigued by it. It was a really nice campus, and everybody here was very happy to be coming here. And so just the atmosphere was pretty inviting overall. So that's what made me kind of choose Syracuse. Oh, and the fact that they gave me a lot of money as well. That's probably the biggest reason why I'm here. So yeah. I
want to do plain and simple. I only got accepted into so many schools and money, so it's still expensive. Okay, so the next question is thoughts on campus food.
It sucks.
Be honest.
It sucks. It's bad.
I think it's not like it's not what you eat at your house. It's just like you gotta make it work. I mean, yeah, it's average. I feel like on good days you can find something really good, but on bad days, good luck. My tip for dining, why am I doing this? For dining hall food is I always go to the vegan section, and I always find good condiments and stuff to mix with the rice and the meat and whatever you like to eat, and I mix it all together. Avocado, I get tomato, whatever. I just mix it all together, and it tastes better. So that works.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah, because people come and they eat hamburgers every day, hot dogs every day. You're not gonna eat good food if you choose to eat junk food.
It's not even good junk food. It's the hamburgers and they're not even good.
Yeah, so just choose what to mix with the stuff, and you'll make it work.
I like that. If you're creative with it, I guess you can make it work. But the large majority, if you just go in there, take what's there, it's not going to be amazing.
I think it's really important to kind of think about what kind of campus food we're talking about, because dining hall food obviously it does suck. I guess just other foods that are options on campus are kind of okay. The student center, Shine Student Center, it has some decent options. They're not great, but they're better than the dining hall, I'd say.
I want to put whoever's watching this onto the halal food. That's probably my favorite place at Shine. Apart from Panda. Panda's alright, but
Life is really good.
Expensive, but
I think they're all very expensive.
That's true.
And there's also Chipotle on Marshall Street that a lot of people just end up going to. You're not going to be able to use meal swipes or anything like that, but you're going to have to pay out of pocket. But I mean, that's also an option.
Okay, so a couple questions about classes. I am, by the way, reading off of my phone while using it as a microphone. So, in your opinion, how difficult are classes?
Just like Carlos, we were both in engineering. My first year I was in computer science and chemical engineering. Now I'm in art video BPA, meaning the art program. So I think I have best of both worlds when it comes to knowing the difficulty of classes, because when I was in engineering, it was very hard because it was like a lot of math, physics, chemistry, computer science, and here it's like the study of like sound and visuals, which is like, for me, it's not hard because I like enjoy doing it, but with engineering I didn't like it. So I think it is challenging because it it's always like getting you out of your comfort zone in your own way. So I think it's like challenging but not difficult because I enjoy it. I don't know, what do you think?
I think that depending on what you're in, the course load is going to be different. I will say that the most important thing, take this from somebody who almost transferred universities entirely because of this, make sure you are studying something you enjoy. I think regardless of where you're at, there's going to be like a difficult course load. It's just a matter of how much you enjoy it. So that's what I'd say. Just like, there's going to be hard stuff anywhere. Just make sure you enjoy what you're studying.
And choose wisely.
I personally think like the average student, I mean, I'm personally kind of like stupid, so I struggle a lot. But like the average student with like most classes, because I've taken a crap ton of random classes just because for credits and stuff. But I feel like the average student they don't really find it that difficult. It's, I guess, like just challenging, like you guys said. Like it's doable. It's a lot of work at times, and that's like the hard part. But it's not like difficult as in like you can't make it happen. It's just like, how do you eventually get it done?
I do also want to add that this is probably like any other university out there, but I mean, like, just anywhere you go, there's gonna be some pretty easy classes that are just like you breeze through them and you'll get an easy A, and there will be other classes that just knock you on your ass. So like, I mean, it's a mixture of both, so it just depends on where you end up. But
also, your professors, like when you like are like registering for your classes, you can see the names of each professor, and like you can like Google like
rate my professor.
Yeah, rate my professor
and see like what people have to say about them. And like I switched a course because I did not like the professor. He was like so like strict and like serious, and I like to learn like in a very like chill and like open and welcoming environment. So I switched professors, and now I love the class. So I think that's important, the professors.
Rate my professor. When you're making your schedule, you can find out who the great professors are, and you can find out who the not so great professors are. So
not sponsored by them.
Okay, going along with classes, do you enjoy your classes?
Circling back to like the enjoying what you study more than anything, that's a big thing. I found myself really drained from my CS classes because I mean, you're just staring at code all day, and it gets to you. You know, some people are built for it. I just wasn't, and I didn't enjoy it. But transferring in a new house, like I'm really into like just creative and digital things. So at New House, I was able to take like a graphic design course, multimedia production stuff. That graphic design course, taught you like Photoshop, InDesign, stuff like that. I was also able to take an animation class as an elective. So just wherever you end up, that kind of determines how much you enjoy it.
Yeah, I also relate to Carlos in the way that he says that he was in computer science and didn't like it. But now in the VPA, which is the art school, I really love the classes. I feel like it's what I love to do. I love videos. Yeah, I love what I'm studying. It's really fun sometimes, Professors make it interesting. Professors, they have interesting ways of teaching. I'm
just going to say, I hate most of my electives. I'm going to be brutally honest. Some of them are just not it.
Like the classes that you're required to take?
Well,
I'm in the same boat.
I'd say like classes that I need to take because I need the credits, like academic electives and like studies in
like
culture.
Humanities courses that I
don't want to say it. Does a person who doesn't like to party or drink have a place at SU?
This is our video. I mean, this is our question. Yes.
The 3 people on campus who don't like to party or drink right now.
First of all, we do not condone underage drinking. So if you're an incoming freshman, you shouldn't be drinking. Point is, yes. I mean, the answer is simply yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Syracuse is known as a party school, but there are still a lot of people who don't party like the average like what you would think the average student would do. There's a lot more going on outside of parties as well. So I feel like you don't necessarily have to participate in such festivities to actually get along with people.
If you genuinely don't like that, and you know everybody in your freshman dorm is doing all that, and just find a new crowd to hang out with, I know that it can be like you can be pressured into that, and it's like
don't peer pressure.
It's hard. There's definitely a large majority of people here very big into drinking and stuff like that, but it is possible to find your people. Just talk to different people. That's all I can say.
I agree. I don't party that much. I mean, I love having to have fun, but for example, like I usually like I don't really go out for real. But
it's people that drink like every day of the week, and it's like chill, bro,
like,
chill.
Like I love to go out, but in comparison to the majority of some students here, I don't go out because they go out like a lot. And I'm not gonna lie to you, people go out a lot. But it depends on like what you want to do, and if you don't want to go out, they will respect that. Like they won't be like, "Oh, come out with me." Like if you're in the wrong crowd, then maybe. But if they're true friends, they're gonna understand and be like, "Okay, then watch Netflix and whatever."
Just find your people.
Place for you. And there's so much to do on campus, like other than partying. There's like ice skating and stuff. I mean, I love to ice skate, but
there's clubs and events.
There's events, there's clubs, there's stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Also, a quick disclaimer. I know a lot of my videos, it looks like I party a lot. I've only filmed these parties. I've only gone out to party like once this entire school year. So like, I just wanted to make that clear. I'm not a big party person. So the next question, what is the vibe like at Syracuse? Are people like rich and snobby, as someone said in the comments?
For the most part, surprisingly, no. There are rich and snobby crowds. Like, I think low-key, can I throw a dig, or do you want? The large majority of people are actually pretty chill, so yeah. Isn't there a sorority on campus, or a frat? I think it's a sorority. Isn't there a sorority on campus that like as a requirement, like they take your like your parents' taxes or whatever, just to see like what tax bracket you're in?
I don't know.
There's some pretty bougie snobby here going on.
I'm not trying to target anyone, but I think it was like my sophomore or freshman year, there was a rumor that one of the frats in their hazing process, they make their what do they call it, like rush kid, whoever's rushing, they gotta like buy a new laptop and like smash it, apparently. Rumor, not a fact. A lot of people do wear Canada Goose.
Lots of Canada Goose.
A lot of Canada Goose. I'm not saying that's bad or anything. I'm just saying there's a lot of people who wear Canada Goose.
There's levels to it. You know, there's people of all over, but there's
people of all different backgrounds.
Notice that there.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It do be. I feel like you're gonna find that at any private university, though. To be fair, so
if you go to college, you're gonna see a Canada Goose jacket if it's a cold region.
I'm like, I want to speak.
Yes, Soley.
I agree with what you're saying, in a way that like it depends like what crowd you're in, like what clubs you go to. I think is very like important. Like what are your like extracurriculars, like sorority, frat, like sports team. Like it depends like where you are, where you like will see that like social class present. Like I've seen it, but since I'm not involved in those crowds, I don't like live through it that much. I just like observe it and I'm like, oh wow, yeah. Or like it's like a diverse kind of thing. Like you see it, but it's not all the time, because there are students who aren't who are very cool, very chill, and like also people who have like their family has like money and they're like chill as well. Like there's everything around.
So what's it like to be a minority student at Syracuse University? Because clearly we're all minority figures.
It was very different at first because I was experiencing lots of like culture shock my freshman year, because I was living in the engineering learning community, and that was basically just a bunch of white guys, pretty much, right? So, I mean, not a lot of women in STEM compared to guys, and then there's just like it's a white male dominated major, I guess you could say. So it was very different at first. It was kind of hard to find people with the same interests as me, just because, you know, I'm not from the East Coast. I didn't grow up, you know, vacationing in by the lakes, you know, whatever. Like I didn't grow up like this. We grew up very, very differently, and it's not a bad thing. It's obviously pretty cool to learn about different people's, you know, backgrounds and stuff like that. But it was kind of hard just like as a learning experience and just like starting out, because it's like you feel and you know that you're like really different from everybody, so it's like that kind of gets to you. But I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, because I mean, you get to learn from a lot of people and experience just different backgrounds. So
I think it's cool because people like, I don't know, I just think like when something is different, it's like interesting. I think people would like are interested in knowing about your culture. Sometimes, I mean, I do agree with Carlos. It is hard, and sometimes it still is. But I mean, it's part of life and college. I think we're here to like learn from everyone else's backgrounds, and like this is life. You know what I mean? Like you won't always be like with your people or with your group. Like sometimes you have to deal with like where you are, and like yeah, I just think it's like a good like. I just feel like I'm not mad that I don't have enough Puerto Rican people here, because I feel like that's why I'm here. I'm in college to.
that's a big thing too.
To.
That's a big reason I'm at Syracuse, because I wanted to get away from like the bubble that was my hometown. That's like all, you know, Hispanics, you know, with immigrant parents. We all kind of grew up the same. So I did want to just like see what it was like to, I don't know, experience something else that was different from what I grew up with.
So as a Korean, I never really had a lot of thoughts my first 2 years about my ethnicity, I guess, while being on campus. I was somewhat conscious of how there were not a lot of Koreans. So like whenever I saw any Koreans on campus, I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh wow, there's another Korean on campus. I guess one of the things that I was actually asked before, kind of relating to this question, is about what is the racism situation like at Syracuse University. And so I know our school has somewhat of a history in the past couple of years. For example, back in 2018, my spring semester, my freshman year, we had a whole fraternity video leak problem, and it had to do with racism and a couple other issues, and that was a whole thing. And then fall of 2019, there was Not Again SU. I don't know, as a minority, I just want to just make it clear, I never like experienced any racism. I think, at least that I'm aware of, I don't really think I had any like microaggression like incidents on campus. I don't know, so that's just a thought I had.
I want to add, like, I wasn't conscious of that until I was getting confused with other minority groups. A lot of people like to add you to a group without you like adding yourself to it. So like that's something that like I was shocked at, when people were like, oh, you're this, you're that, and they like just like push you to that group, but they don't mean to. Yeah. But it had happened. And when, for example, me, I'm in a very like American and white environment sometimes, and being the only like Latina is sometimes like I forget until like
someone brings it up.
Yeah, or like there's like this, I don't know, it's just a feeling that you get. But it's not, I mean, it's not like bad, but you feel it.
Adding on to what you said earlier, I definitely do feel that all the time, where it's like I see another Hispanic, I'm like, oh my god, a Hispanic like here, like what? Like, so very, very white dominated school. It's pretty easy to feel like you are in the minority as a minority, but it's like, personally, I've also never been like, you know, affected by anything too terrible. So I mean, my experience has been fine, but you do feel like you're in the minority just because you're very, very different from some of the people that come here.
Going into some lighthearted questions again. Yeah, that was a very serious topic.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm really serious. I was not expecting that myself.
It's hot in here. Oh my god.
What is there to do on campus?
Oh, I can answer this.
The mic is yours.
What to do on Syracuse? I think I overload myself with activities because I figure out what's there to do here. So you can do so much. What can you do? We love to go ice skating. It's fun. It's close. You can take the bus and you'll be there in like 5 minutes.
You'd be surprised with how oddly addicting these some activities are. Like, you wouldn't think they're entertaining, but once you go and do it, you're like, hold up, this is actually kind of good.
Andrew and I have kind of developed a very, very, very crippling pool table addiction. We can't stop.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
There's ping pong at the barn center. There's a pool, jacuzzi. I love the gym.
Jacuzzi. It's so nice.
I go to the gym a lot. There is a lot of like activities like around like campus, like during the day.
There's Orange After Dark as well for like the weekends, which I think it's like so there's this organization called Orange After Dark. They basically host free or either really cheap events every weekend, I think. So that's a thing.
That's probably a pretty cool way to meet people who don't like to drink all the time.
too.
Like, they'll literally take you bowling on the weekends, which is just like a really cool way to meet people. And like, who doesn't love bowling, bro? Come on.
It's a school hosted event. It's a nice controlled environment.
There's also in the Barn Center and the website, you can register to like classes of like snowboarding, which I did that, horseback riding, and a lot of outdoor adventures in the fall. So like you can meet so many people just going to the Barn Center or to the gym or doing like fun activities, and like there you can find your crowd.
Did you say horseback riding?
Yeah, in the fall.
I didn't know that was a thing.
In the fall. Yeah, like there's
There's horses in Syracuse?
No.
Around.
I mean, there's this program that they take you on a bus to a horseback riding place. So you just gotta like try to like get involved. You'll find out like a lot of fun stuff to do.
So one day it'll be like negative 20 like degrees Fahrenheit with like 8 inches of snow outside with like winds that are like the snow is falling like horizontally. It's not falling down vertically. It's going horizontally. It's that bad. But then the next day, it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The sun is out. The snow is gone, and everyone's like walking around in shorts.